Okay. Now, let's talk about our cat, Frankie Blue Nicholas Garcia Fisher. We've been having quite the tumultuous few weeks with him. So, if you're just joining us, we got our cat from a nice old lady from next door that you found, named Leslie Benson.
The community app on your phone next door.
Yeah.
Not literally our next door neighbor, but yeah.
Right.
She advertised.
Because if it was our next door neighbor, we'd be like, take this asshole back. Yes. But she advertised, I'm moving. She moved to South Carolina or something. I got to get rid of our house, our cat.
Well, she sold her house. She rehomed her cat.
Yes.
And I saw his face. And, I looked into his eyes, and I just knew he was the boy for our family.
His giant, beautiful yellow eyes. And his fur is dark, smoky gray. But Leslie Benson gave us a bunch of, stuff, his cage, a bunch of food, some toys. So it became, in terms of food, we just stuck with what she gave us. And it was the Pure Balance, high protein something or other that our local Walmart sells. So we just kept buying it, and it's dry food. It's dry kibble, and it was fairly easy to feed him because we would just put some in his bowl, and we fed him too much in the beginning, and he vomited on our carpet a few times. But we just kept buying this Pure Balance, wild and free, high protein, whatever, and it was good. It was easy going. It was easy. It was simple.
Life was good.
Yeah.
I remarked to you, we got so lucky with Frankie. He's such a good cat.
Yeah.
He's easygoing. He doesn't do all the stereotypical bad cat behaviors that you hear about, and I thought we were so fortunate.
Yeah. And then there was trouble in paradise.
Fast forward a year and a half.
So the two things happened is that you started giving him wet food, like some canned chicken.
I still haven't nailed down what exactly the cause of the problem was. We went on vacation.
Yes.
He went on a hunger strike.
Correct.
I started giving him little bits and pieces of human food while I was cooking our dinners.
Yeah.
A little bit of chicken here, a little piece of scrambled egg.
Mistake number 1, mistake number 2. Yeah.
All of a sudden, he's not eating his dry food.
Right.
He's starving himself.
Yeah.
Literally starving. And he lost 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Bad news.
I'm not the cat whisperer, but there were two things going on. One, you started giving him wet food. So he was like, get this dry food out of here. And then 2, we went on vacation. So he went on a hunger strike. We had your dad, Alan Fisher, come here to feed him. He still didn't eat. Alan did read some Bible verses to Frankie. So did Alan Fisher read Frankie the book of Revelation? Because that's some crazy shit, honey. I remember hearing about the book of Revelation when I was 8 years old, and I was like, Cloacus? Really?
Scary.
Yeah.
Frankie's scared.
Yeah. So we need to nail that down. So then we were like, well, we need to go all in on the wet food.
Yeah, I took him to the vet, and his veterinarian was like, this cat is very thin. I'm really concerned. You got to fatten this boy up.
Right. We got him at 12 pounds. He quickly went to 15 pounds because we fed him tons of dry food. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. Okay, hi. And then he quickly went down to 11 pounds. So it was a whole rubber band back and forth. Well, again, we don't know.
It was like Christian Bale gaining and losing weight for roles in movies. It was very concerning.
Yes. And so we went to wet food, which is more expensive and just more painstaking because you got to open a can and it'll be in the middle of the night. And so he got spoiled. He became a prima donna. He became one of these narcissistic celebrities. And so
he became James Corden at the Balthazar restaurant in New York City, yelling at us. Yeah. We're the waitstaff, yelling at us for his food.
Yeah. And so, what was once, here's some dry kibble.
Mm-hmm. Here you go, a half a scoop here, a half a scoop there.
Oh, he's out of dry kibble. Here's a little bit more, so you don't vomit on our carpet. He turned into a monster. And so he knew that we were the primary feeders, me and you, so he would go into our bedroom all hours of the night, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a night when he got hungry, waking us up. And his move was that he would hop on the bed, which, okay, whatever. But then he hops on the headboard of our bed that we also got from Judy's Own. Which, okay, isn't a big deal. But we have these fairy lights, these pixie lights.
Yeah,
whatever.
Twinkle lights, I like to call them.
Yeah. Well, you had, your childhood dream was to have twinkle lights hanging from the wall.
Yes, and you made my dreams come true.
In your master bedroom.
Via Amazon.
So Frankie would, at all hours of the night, hop on our headboard and start chewing.
Yeah.
At these Twinkie lights. Twinkle. Pixie lights. And so it was just a big to-do.
And okay, yeah. So he's running all over our bedroom at night. It's the middle of the night. We're trying to sleep. He's on our headboard. He's on our end tables. We decided to close the door to keep him out of our room.
Right.
And what does he do? He starts scratching the hell out of the carpet.
Yeah.
And our bedroom door.
Yeah.
Not letting us sleep. But it was strange because we would get up and feed him. But then we would feed him, and a half hour later, he'd be doing it again.
Oh, my gosh.
So I don't know. I honestly don't know what's wrong with him.
Yeah.
He's not hungry.
There were 2 incidents a few weeks ago in the middle of the night. I closed the door, and I was like, I'm over this shit, dude. Like him coming in at all hours, waking us up, chewing at the pixie/twinkle/fairy lights, causing a ruckus, mayhem, and cheese 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And I was like, I'm over it. So I closed the door. He starts clawing at our carpet. And back to Judy's Own. She got good, thick carpet. But it can only take so much punishment. So in the middle of the night, we would just hear his nails just ripping at the carpet. Ugh. And at this point, again, it was the middle of the night. You said, honey, he's ripping at the carpet. And I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't give a shit. Like, whatever.
No.
Right. And we went back and forth in the middle of the night.
Right.
I was like, I'm over his shit. I don't care anymore. But you presented the opposite viewpoint.
I can't stand it. I can't stand him tearing up our carpet.
Yeah. Well, I was like, he will stop if he tears at our carpet and we don't feed him. It might be 5 minutes. It might be 6 hours, but he will stop. And I didn't give a shit anymore. I was over it. But that was where our love diverged.
Well, you had a solution. No more wet food. Because the wet food, he's like a drug addict.
Yeah.
He's just like, he needs his next hit. He needs his next high.
Yeah.
He's insatiable.
Yeah. Listen.
So now he has his head in Luna's backpack. Currently, as we speak.
Yeah.
He's digging in Luna's backpack.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's a maniac.
Listen, I listened to NWA when I was a young man, honey. And drug dealers, you give the first hit out for free. You get them hyped up, you get them addicted. So you give the first few hits out for free, and then there'll be a return customer, a repeat customer.
Doritos. I'm sorry.
What's a bag of Doritos doing in Luna's backpack?
Digging in Luna's backpack because she has a bag of Doritos, an open bag of Doritos in here.
Yeah.
Do you see what we're dealing with?
Well, is it Luna's fault or is it?
Yes.
Oh, it is Luna's fault. The cat just looks confused. But then, so the other thing that happened about a week ago is the exact opposite.
And oop.
So it really became like a game of, well, are we playing the long game of, I was like, I will get up and feed him 7 times a night. And you were like, no, that's no way to live. We need to teach him. We need to discipline him. That if he scratches, it's not going to result in instant feeding. So we were at opposite ends. And the other night, about a week ago, madness was happening in the middle of the night. It was crazy. And you cursed at him. And I cursed at him a few weeks ago. You cursed at him a few nights ago. So we were at wit's end. We didn't know what the hell to do. It was just it was so much. And it's a freaking cat. It's not a human. So the cat isn't telling us exactly how to proceed. Well, he just wants food. And so we've just been we've had enough. Mm-hmm. It's been too much.
Mommy and Daddy are done.
Yeah.
Okay, Frankie, we're done.
Yeah, and so we've had people offer solutions, like your mom, Liz Fisher, said, throw him in the laundry room. And I was like, well, okay, but what if he like flips out in there or poops or pees in there? And then Lennox was like, well, just drag his litter box in there. And I was like, well, who's gonna do that every night? Like, well, what the? There's barely any room in the laundry room. Another Lennox solution that he offered was because Frankie hates. I'm sure, like most cats, Frankie hates plastic bags and aluminum foil and garbage bags, anything. And they freak out. So Lennox was like, well, just wrap your headboard in aluminum foil. And I was like, that's not a bad idea.
It's not a bad idea, no.
But actual practicality of wrapping a headboard in aluminum foil... not gonna happen. So Frankie became like this villain. Like all of a sudden he became like Thanos. Like, he must be stopped. We don't know how, but it must come to an end. This madness must cease. And so we just had all these ideas. You had a lavender spray.
Oh, I Googled how to get my cat to stop scratching.
Yeah.
And I found that they don't like certain scents. And I happen to have a little vial can thing of lavender. Mm-hmm. Like, you're supposed to spray it on your pillow and your bedding to help you relax at night. So cats don't like lavender. So I started spraying it all around the carpet where he likes to scratch. Yeah. That did deter him for a week or two. Yeah. But then he got immune to it. Right. And I just bought a $10 bottle. A giant $10 bottle because we ran out. Yeah. And... now he's immune, and we have this bottle of lavender. I don't know what to do with.
You were spraying the shit out of the area in front of our bedroom door. Yeah. Like you were. It was like World War II when you were carpet bombing an actual carpet or rug. But you were like spraying the crap out of it, and it was a whole deal. But then he just got used to it.
I think he did.
Yeah, and so that didn't. But did that even help? Because well, the whole thing, and another option was, let's get hardwood floors throughout our entire condominium.
Well, no, you can't get hardwood floors because they scratch that. I think you can get tile, like what we have in our kitchen. Because that won't leave scratch marks.
But I like lying on the floor, honey.
Yes, you do, and also that's thousands of dollars. Yeah. All for this cat causing mayhem.
We bought a little rug to put in front of our bedroom door, but he just moved his scratching like 3 inches in front of the door, and so there was no like long-term solution. No, it was just we were at our wits' end. We were about to like go postal, just on borderline meltdown. The other night, like, it was a long night. I may have had a few adult beverages. But 10 p.m., 10:30ish, like my head, I was tired, and I was like, okay, I get to rest, and my majestic wife is next to me in the bed, and I'm gonna have a grand old time. My head literally hit the pillow, and this fucking furry motherfucker hops in our bed, meow, meow, hops up on our headboard, gnawing at our fairy lights, and I was like, this is it. I cannot take this anymore. There's nowhere to go. I'm so freaking over it. So the other night, I was like, we need to go back to dry kibble. Because with dry kibble, you step on dry kibble in the kitchen, and just in the living room, you find pieces of dry kibble. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but the wet food made him into an addict or a monster.
Yeah, he is a complete beast.
Yeah.
Crying, yelling, tearing our house apart literally.
Yeah.
For that next can of wet food.
Yeah.
And he cannot, he won't be stopped.
Yeah. So I said, honey, we need to go back to dry kibble. And we've tried to give him dry kibble. So like here and there, I've put dry kibble on the bottom of his bowl, and then some wet food on top.
Right, we tried mixing.
He completely ignores the dry kibble on the bottom. And then I tried the wet food on the bottom, and then I sprinkle the dry kibble. I'm like a chef on below deck, honey. I'm dry kibble for your garnish, sir. And he paws at the dry kibble, like he'll push it away out of the to get to the wet food. But I said we need to go like cold turkey, full turkey, all in.
Cut him off.
Yeah. And it's going to be hard. It has been hard.
We started, 3 days ago?
Yeah.
We started 3 days ago. No more wet food. 100% dry kibble.
Yeah.
He has, in the last 3 days, he has eaten none of the dry food we've put in his bowl.
Yes.
He's on a complete hunger strike.
Mm-hmm.
He ate a few treats yesterday because I hired a lady to come over to our house and clip his nails.
Yes.
Because I can't do that.
Yeah.
So I found this lady. She came over. She clipped his nails. He was a complete bad boy, just as expected. But she got the job done. She gave him some treats to calm him. So that's all he's eaten in the last 72 hours is a few of the treats she gave him.
Now, first of all, you found that lady on Facebook.
Yes.
And you wondered aloud. You said, well, what if she comes over and robs me? Or she cases the joint and has her 3 taut, thick cousins come over at midnight rob us.
Yeah, I was worried. I was like, is it safe to give someone on Facebook your address, to invite them over during the day when you're home alone?
Yeah.
Your pictures of your kids are up.
Yeah.
I was like, should I take down all the pictures of the kids?
Yeah.
Should I even have this lady over?
Yeah.
But she showed up. She was wearing scrubs like a nurse.
Ah.
Very trustworthy.
Okay. Well, when you laid it out like that, should I have done this? Should I have done this? And she's coming over here, and you were alone.
Yes.
It was just you and Frankie. when you put all your something on the something, insert metaphor here. I was like, maybe this isn't such a good idea, but she was fine, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Did you offer her to use the bathroom? Did you offer her a drink, honey, as I ask you to do with all of our guests?
I know. I keep letting all of our guests and you down because I offer nobody a drink. I offer nobody any sort of comfort.
Yeah.
Or whatever a hostess might do. No, she got straight to it with Frankie, and he was so bad. Jumping out of her arms, crying.
His bow tie came off in the midst of the struggle. He
was squirming around so badly. His collar came loose. But whatever. So he hasn't eaten in 72 hours. This lady gave him a few treats to try to help the situation with clipping his nails.
Yeah.
But other than that, he hasn't eaten. and we're not caving.
Yeah.
And he's not caving.
Well, you hear about like these prisoners at Gitmo, and they go on a hunger strike. They won't eat for whatever reason because they're fucking terrorists or whatever, you know. But what the CIA or whoever runs Gitmo will do is they will feed them via a tube, like in their butt. And I was like, well, is that the next step with Frankie? Are we gonna like put a syringe in his mouth like Hillary Egan with these kittens? How are we gonna get him to eat? Are we gonna get him to eat? I mean, do you have any idea about that game plan?
I haven't thought that far out, but I did Google it today, and cats can survive up to 2 weeks without food.
Great. Yeah.
So we aren't anywhere near the end of this.
Yeah.
But the last couple nights, you and I have slept much better.
Yes.
Even though he doesn't have any wet food, he only has dry food, which he's not eating. Yeah. He's not coming into our room and crying as much.
Yeah.
Because he already knows we're not going to give it to him.
Yeah. Well, what used to happen, and by used to I mean a week ago to 2 weeks ago, is we would close our bedroom door and you would just hear ripping at Judy Zone's thick Berber carpet. But now, after the lady cut his nails,
yes,
and cased our joint, and is probably gonna rob us tonight, honey. I got a bet. But so he has less nails now. But he's like last night he like punched.
Yeah.
Like he's freaking Creed or
this is what we hear while we're sleeping.
Yeah. Like he's like Mike Tyson on the speed bagger. I sleep through this for the most part. It disturbs you. Like if I'm awake, it keeps me up, and I do pee 4 to 6 times a night. But if I'm sleeping, it doesn't awake me, but it bothers you more.
It does.
Yeah.
I need my sleep, or I get super grumpy and angry.
Yeah.
And I'm so terrified of him scratching the carpet. But in addition to him, he punches the door, but he also has spent like a few hours just away from us, just being quiet.
Yeah.
Laying somewhere. So the other thing we've started doing,
yes,
is because at like 4 a.m., at about 4 a.m., he starts punching the door. Mm-hmm. So we've started to lock him in our bathroom.
Yeah.
The kids' bathroom, I'm sorry.
Correct.
And we leave him in there from like 4 a.m. to 6 a.m.
Yeah. And he's got his litter box in there. He doesn't have any food.
He doesn't need any food. He won't eat it anyway.
And we turn the light off because if we turn the light on, then Lennox or Luna, if they woke up and had to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, they would see the door closed with the light on. Oh, Lennox or Luna is in there.
Yeah.
So we turn the light off, which I feel bad about because he's in the dark. But he's a cat.
He can see.
They have good vision, right?
Yeah. Also, it's nighttime. Lay down.
Yeah.
There's a few bath mats in there.
Yeah.
And also, just on a normal day, a normal afternoon, occasionally we'll find him in the kids' bathtub. Yeah. Like just curled up in there.
Yeah.
Like he likes to chill in there occasionally. So I feel like it's not an inhumane thing to do.
Yeah.
He's fine.
As Roy Orbison Jr.'s friends on Below Deck said, go to bed. Stop acting like a fucking maniac. Go to bed. Go to bed. Go to bed. So I'm happy because dry kibble is much cheaper than wet food. Grandma Tien is happy about that.
I am happy because the last 2 nights you and I have both slept much more. And I know I'm sleeping better because I'm dreaming again. And you know you only dream when you're like in the REM stage of sleep?
Yeah.
And I haven't been dreaming for weeks.
Yeah.
And finally, I'm having my dreams again. Yeah. Which means I'm getting stretches of sleep that I need.
Yeah. I've felt just, and I'm no cat whisperer. I'm no lady who comes over and cases condos for how much did you pay her?
I paid her 20.
20. And she was here for 15
I
minutes?
paid her 5 for that little toy she coerced me into buying.
Right. Which is cute. It's a little tomato with catnip in it, homemade.
Yeah.
Etsy. Ever hear of it?
So I paid her 25.
Okay. I can dig that. But I feel like he's gotten better. It's still not perfect. It's still not ideal. He's still a nut job in the middle of the night. But I think it is, and I've just felt that he's like we're more on the wavelength, the level, the vibe that we used to be before wet food turned him into Jeffrey Dahmer. Okay.
Yeah, like we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
He knows what's happening.
Yeah.
He knows we are not caving.
Yeah.
And
and the dry kibble, it's been 36 hours?
Yeah. 48?
No. Yeah, 48. Maybe nearly 72 hours.
Yes.
He hasn't eaten any dry food. But I'm like, you have, and I realize this is a one-sided conversation, but we have chats, we have dialogues, we have back and forth. So I just say, you have food. You have food. You have food. Look at your brown food.
Or you say, are you annoying?
Yeah.
Are you annoying?
Yeah. I think he's saying yes. He's saying, yes, I know I am. We give him water. There's less poop for the kids. Okay, me to scoop. I think he'll be fine. But yeah, this is having a cat, ladies and gentlemen. Any regrets about having Franklin Bellinor Roosevelt Silac III?
You know I've been thinking that. You know I've been thinking these questions. Like,
oh, yeah.
Should we just let him go free in the berm?
Yes.
But then I think back to how much joy he's brought to the kids and our family. And just having a pet is so nice for a home and a household.
It's such a back and forth of emotions. Feelings.
I still, even now, I think the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? Do you agree?
The cons are when the cons affect my sleep.
My sleep and my carpet. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we've woken up and there's just been shards of carpet.
Piles of little pieces of carpet.
Yeah. And you're afraid. I'm like, take a picture for the pod, for our pod Instagram. And you said, no, Grandma Tian's going to get mad. Yeah, it's become quite the deal. But on the other hand, when he dies, if he dies, we just need to get new carpet.
Yeah, we'll get new carpet. Luna claims she's going to move out at 18, which is in 4.5 years.
Good. Something to look forward to.
And she claims that she's taking him with her.
Yeah.
So we'll get new carpet in 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay? We can make it.
Yeah. In the end, I love that furry, chunky boy. Less chunky now because he's starving. But it's such an up and down. Such a good and bad, yin yang, etc. He just whined, but I love staring at him. I find him endlessly fascinating. Well, I feel the same way about Lennox and Luna. I love staring at them. I find them endlessly fascinating.
They're also messy and expensive, okay?
Wow, that was hurtful. But I dig Frankie, and the past few weeks has been quite the tussle. But I pray that we're on the end of it. We're near.
Yeah. Have we come through? We're through the other side.
We're near the sunset. we're yeah. I hope so.
I would say, like, if you're a cat guru,
yeah,
then send suggestions.
Slide into our DMs.
Although I have a couple of friends who are people who are super cat people.
Yeah.
And every suggestion they've given me has not worked with Frankie.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But if you have anything to suggest, add, whatever. Send it our way. We'll give it a try. We're desperate and open for anything. Like, how do we stop him scratching? How do we get him to eat his dry food again?
Oh my gosh.
How do we get him to stop jumping up on our headboard every night and eating my lights?
Oh god.
How do we get him to love us while we're at it?
Wow.
He's not affectionate. He doesn't love us. So how do we get him to do that? Okay.
That's a bridge too far. That just makes him more appealing. Like he'll change. I'll change you. You'll be mine one day. I don't know. Alrighty. Well, are we done, honey?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're done. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, review, and rate, or don't, and share. Do what you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Pretty Litter. We don't have a promo code for Pretty Litter, but that's actually what you use.
Yeah, I do. Actually, I have a subscription. They deliver it to our doorstep, Frankie.
Yeah. And it's allegedly lighter and prettier and smells better.
It's much better than your standard litter in terms of like the feel of it, the sight of it. Yeah. And this is the last thing I care about, but like if it's a certain color where the cat's pee is, that means they have some sort of health issue.
Affliction, yeah.
Okay. I do care about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see some yellow. Is that bad?
Yellow and green is fine.
Okay, good.
That's what we see. So he's fine. It's a good litter. I do recommend Pretty Litter.
Yes. Goodbye, our podcast friends. I love you. My wife and I love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, we may have said Liz Fisher's idea of throwing him in the laundry room is maybe not the greatest idea.
I like it.
Throwing him in the laundry room?
I want to do it.
But you haven't done it.
No, because we found a better solution by throwing him in the bathroom and closing the door.
Yes. But we're still good people, and my wife is still a good person. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. Thank you for caring. We hope you have a wonderful day / night. Au revoir.